This is Secret Stories, and my name is Mary Kachapalya. Many people cannot be on camera because their employer, their family, their friends, their church, their synagogue would roll their eyes, ridicule, misunderstand, or even fire them. And now we have the added stress of being heckled on social media. Well, Secret Stories shields you and allows you to tell your story with anonymity. Thank you for valuing what we do, and thank you for the support that makes breaking the silence possible. Here is an account sent to us to be read anonymously. One evening in October of 1976, I was on the phone with Sue, a good friend of mine. We were just out of high school and still living with our parents. We were trying to decide whether to go out that night. Going out in those days meant we were going to hang out at the river park with other teenagers. We decided against it. In the morning, I picked her up at her parents' house to go to a costume shop. It was almost Halloween, and we were invited to a masquerade party. The next morning when I woke up, I remembered a vivid dream involving two alien but human-looking men. Sue was in the dream too. I couldn't wait to tell her about it. What a hoot. One of the alien men had a dark complexion, loose curly dark hair, brown eyes, and was of average height and weight, if not a bit on the thin side. He seemed very familiar to me, and I remembered feeling so much love from him. I secretly thought he was cute. The other man, whom I don't remember as well, was a stocky blonde with a creepy baby face, a disturbing baby face. They were both wearing white button-down Oxford shirts. Oxford shirts were in style in the 70s, although everyone we knew who wore them were yuppies. We were hippies and too cool for people that wore shirts like that. In the dream, I remember looking through a chain-link fence at a UFO that was landed on a tarmac. It wasn't big. It was saucer-shaped, may have had a 20 to 30 foot diameter, was a dark matte gray, and had a solid white band of light around the middle of it. As I recall, the surface was as smooth as glass. From there, we proceeded to a white frame building. The entrance had 3 concrete steps. We were on a military base. There were white wooden frame buildings all around us. It looked like a military base that was built in the 1940s. There were rows of white buildings. The smell of cut green grass was strong, like it had been freshly cut. Somehow I knew that the base was surrounded by a pancake flat desert that had no vegetation in sight. It was a beige color as far as you could see. The 4 of us entered the building. Sue and I were surprised by the way the room looked. It was furnished with 1940s style furniture. Not really nice furniture, mind you. It looked old, like it may have been picked up for cheap at a used furniture store. The floor had avocado green carpet. There was a mixture 40s and 60s in the same room. The absurdity of the furnishings and the carpet color struck us as funny. I think we must have laughed about it. The next thing I recall is that we were being split up. I went with the dark-haired man. She went with the stocky one. They both looked like they were in their late 20s or early 30s. The rest of the dream is foggy. I vaguely remember being measured for a force or energy of some kind. There was a pinkish-purple neon-type light involved. I don't think I reached the goal. I drove over to Sue's house first thing the next morning. I had a blue Volkswagen Beetle. She lived across town about 20 minutes away. She came out and got in the car. I greeted her and then started to tell her about my dream. I was excited about it. Sue, I had a dream about and at the same time she excitedly started telling me about a dream she had. Then we said UFO in unison. What should have been impossible, sharing a dream, had happened. We both knew it was true and that somehow it was real. What should have been impossible, sharing a dream, had really happened. We both knew it was true and that somehow it was real. As we drove to the costume shop, I decided to take a scientific approach and ask Sue questions about the dream. I said, "Sue, what color was the carpet?" She looked at me and kind of laughed and said, "It was green. You know it was green. Avocado green." We talked about the Oxford shirts, the baby-faced man, the military base, the smell of fresh-cut green grass, and that we did not like the baby face. We didn't know why we didn't like him, as if the bizarre face wasn't enough. After that, we got quiet. We didn't know what to do with the information. We arrived at the costume shop. She found a cute costume. I didn't. I have other memories of that experience. One is of someone looking into my eyes. I couldn't look away. I was captured by the gaze, and it was as if everything about me was known by whomever it was behind those eyes. I felt exposed. There are no secrets. I also remember thinking that telepathy was enhanced through the eyes somehow. Now I have had telepathic communication, and eye contact is not part of it. So I don't understand what was happening during the eye contact. Sue doesn't remember anything after we split up. I've asked her a few times over the years to try to remember more. She says it upsets her and really freaks her out. For years after the experience, I have expected to run into that guy with the dark hair. He looked totally human. People could pass him all day long in the street and not think a thing about it. There was something about his appearance that was unsettling. It took a while to dawn on me what it was, and it is deeply personal. Since I was a little girl, and I mean kindergartner before, I've been attracted to dark-haired, dark-complected men. Dark hair, dark eyes, dark skin, and with a nose that you might see on someone in the Middle East. To be perfectly honest, he'd be Jewish. I was looking for someone that fit that description. I think it is a past life memory. I don't know how else to explain it. We only told a handful of people, close friends, a brother, a boyfriend. I told my parents at the dinner table. My father looked shocked and was speechless, nothing but silence. Then my mom said, "Pass the potatoes." That was the only communication I ever had with my parents about it. About 10 years later, we contacted the MUFON state director. He and his wife were a team at that time. They thought that we had had an out-of-body experience because we could not determine how it happened. There were no UFO sightings, no missing time. We were each in our own home. In the early 90s, I started attending monthly MUFON meetings. Sue was out of state by this time. I met an experiencer researcher there that hooked me up with a psychologist who was interested in the subject and was willing to regress me for free. I was in college in the early 90s, so free was perfect for me. At the beginning of the regression, I asked to see this experience and to see only the truth. During the regression, I saw a male being that was chalky white. He had big slanted eyes that wrapped to the sides of his head. They were brown, a golden brown like those of a deer. His chin came to a point and his jaw was sunken in. No hair. I don't remember ears. Nose and mouth were minimal. I remember looking at what I think was a thumb. It had a thick white claw at the top of the digit, was curved like a crab claw. His skin was like that of some lizards. It was the type of skin that has small round areas that are raised and have a trough surrounding them. Although the patterns were different, it reminded me of snakeskin. The next thing I knew, I was coming out of the regression. I told the regressionist what I saw. Her opinion was he captured me emotionally. I don't know if I agree. He could have used something familiar to me to put me at ease and not scare me to death. We were not harmed. As for the military base, we both remember. I don't think we were at a military base. These aliens are capable of reaching into our minds, manipulating our memories, and implanting memories. This experiencer wished to remain anonymous. We appreciate her sharing. It takes guts to share your experience, and when you're ready, I will share your story for you. This is Mary Cacciapaglia. May love and light be with you.